Achievers Club. So this is an office organized and managed by a team called Achievers Club, which is the top and the biggest cryptocurrency team in Africa that's exclusively representing Bit Club network in Africa, but not limited to Africa. So we're beyond Africa, okay? So I want to say on behalf of everyone, welcome. On behalf of the person that invited you and on behalf of every leadership, welcome to our home. And, you know, could be a day that is going to change your life, like many of us have been changed our lives. Today is actually a special day. You're probably wondering what I'm holding on my hands. So we're going to tell you about this machine that changed your life. How many of you in this room have this machine? Can I see your hands? I know we chased out most of them. Okay, most of them are chased out because we needed to keep space for all of you. But it's all about learning about this machine and how this machine is going to change your individual lives and the people that you interact with and your family, your friends, and everyone around you. Are you excited? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. All right. So I have a very, very special friend with us today who is the top earner and top achiever in the Club network. So if you do see this on the list, so he's right. Yes. And very, very, very close to be right. And you know how many people are on this rank? International? Only 108 people in the world. So he's the top 108 people in the world that is holding that kind of rank. And it took him the shortest time possible in the Club network. And he has traveled all over. Previously, by profession, he's an engineer. But he is now full-time in Bit Club network for the past 1 year and about 2-3 months. And heading the East Africa market, mostly. East Africa market, for those of you who don't know, is Kenya, Ethiopia, and Tanzania, Uganda, countries around Rwanda, those countries. So he's mostly heading up those kind of areas, but obviously not limited to that. His business is pretty much everywhere, including South Africa, and Asia, and the US, and Australia, and everywhere that you can think of. But the base is mostly in East Africa. And he makes a lot of money, that's for sure. But he makes him something different among all of the monster leaders in Africa because he's gone to the Iceland, visited the facility on his own eyes. Can you please give him a very, very warm South African welcome, please?
Wow. How do you say hi here? Sewabona. What is it? Sewabona. I need to learn, Hannah. So wow, it is so nice to be here. I'm so impressed with the capacity here. It is really, really, really full. So it's yes, my first time to come to Achievers Club in South Africa, and yes, I will plan to come back based on the growth of this market in the next couple of months. So to do the first part, I would like to invite somebody who is also high up there. This is somebody who is the second person to get there in Africa. And can we clap for the ladies in the room? So the lady I'm going to invite to take us through part one, she used to work for one of the top telecommunication companies in Kenya for about 7 years. She's a serial entrepreneur. She'll share her experience at the end. But Aerlene Mugambi, I'm totally proud of this lady. She is high up there. What she makes in a day, some people don't see in a year, but that will change. So I'd like to invite Aerlene to just come and start us off with part one of the presentation, and then I'll come back just to wrap it up. So let's welcome and appreciate Master Builder Aerlene Mugambi. Thank you so much.
Did you say Sabonga? I rest my case. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's such an honor to be here. You know, this is my first time in South Africa. I've never been here. I've been to many other African countries, and this is my first time. So I came with my family, but they're not here with us. But I came with them because I was told South Africa is a good holiday destination. So yeah, I guess after work we get to play. So we work very hard and we play equally as hard. Now, I got involved with Bitcoin 15 months ago, August last year to be specific. The value of one Bitcoin then was this $500. How much is a Bitcoin today? So when people say this is a bubble, I tell them, let's watch this space and let's see. Let's compare notes in 1 year, right? So I'm going to take you through, I will share my story, I'll share my story at the end. But let me take you through the first part of the presentation. Like I said, we'll do it in a Kenyan way. The Kenyan way is that we get very interactive. So if I pick on you, please answer my question, so I don't feel like I'm talking here alone. Yeah? So I'm just looking at you. Alright. Okay, so we'll start with just the introduction of BitClub. Okay. Okay. Alright, so for those who are here for the first time, by show of hands, how many of you have heard about Bitcoin? Like you've heard about Bitcoin even before you came here? Right? Okay, so when I got involved last year, nobody knew about Bitcoin in Kenya. It was a really new thing. You know, today Bitcoin is getting a lot of social media attention and people are getting to know about it. But many people don't know exactly how you make money. They've heard about Bitcoin, but they don't know probably how to make money with it. So I'm going to explain what Bitcoin is. Now, I'll give you a local example. You have Pick and Pay supermarket here in South Africa, right? Now, when you go and do shopping, do you get points? Like, you know, you can redeem your smart points and you can redeem some things with those smart points, right? Now, would you consider then that a digital currency? Yes. It is, because money is anything you can exchange something with. So that's a digital currency. So, but that you can only use that within Pick and Pay. Right? You can go to Kenya and use it in any one of our supermarkets. Now, Bitcoin is the global kind of digital currency. It's a global digital currency. Now, today, we'll say Bitcoin is the most valuable currency. If I was to give you any currency, for those who are here for the first time, which one would you choose? The dollar? The euro? The pound? Why? Huh? It has a lot of value. For us to understand Bitcoin as a currency, we have to look at the journey of money. Money has evolved. Our forefathers were using what we call barter trade, right? They used to exchange cowrie shells and spices, right? That's the past of money. They didn't have the paper money, the rand, the Kenya shillings, the euro. So barter trade is the past of money. The present of money is what we currently use. You know, the Kenya shilling, the rand, the US dollar, you know, the paper money, the coins. And now the future of money is going towards a digital platform. Everything in the world has moved towards digital. I don't know if in South Africa you moved from analog TVs to digital TV. Did you transition to that? We did the same as well. So everything is moving towards a digital space. So money has stayed in this particular, state of, the currency that we have, and now it's moving towards a digital space. Now, we want to look at what exactly this digital space is. We all know all these world currencies, right? The dollar, the rand, the Kenya shilling. In general, all these currencies are known as fiat currency. Not fiat the car. No, that small little car, fiat. That's not what I mean. And fiat is a Latin word that means I declare. So the government of the day declares, 100 rand as legal tender to be used. So this is where we are right now, where we're using the euros, the dollars, and all these currencies. And now, like I said, the world is transitioning towards digital currencies. Now, Bitcoin is just one of those digital currencies. We have more than 650 types of digital currency. Bitcoin is just one of them. We have Dash, we have Dogecoin, we have Ethereum, we have Zcash. We have a lot of other digital currency. But of course, Bitcoin is the mother of them all because it's the most valuable one of them all. Now, we want to look at what is the difference. Why own, fiat currency as opposed to digital currency. Now, on world currencies, what we have, they are all centralized, meaning they are controlled by governments. Today in South Africa, who prints the rand? The Reserve Bank of South Africa, right? So it's the government that dictates, what currency to print, when to print, right? Now, digital currency is decentralized. It does not belong to any government or any individual. It's not controlled by any government. So that's what it means by decentralized. Number two is that fiat currency is unlimited in supply. What do I mean? Government can wake up and print currency. We all know what happened in Zimbabwe. Do you have any people from Zimbabwe? Yes. Okay. Apologies. So we know what happened with the Zim dollar, right? Where you go in shopping, you have to go with a wheelbarrow to carry money and buy stuff, right? Because you need a lot of money to buy small little things. Now, in Zimbabwe, the president just wakes up and prints money. So that loses the value of the currency. Every time governments keep printing money, they lose value, right? So it's unlimited in supply. While digital currency is limited in supply. There will be only a finite number of digital currency that will be in supply. And no government can wake up and say, we need more money for election. Let's print some more, right? Now, how is the limitation of Bitcoin? Now, if you look at Bitcoin, the inventor of Bitcoin said there will only be 21 million Bitcoins that will ever be in circulation in our entire lifetime. Now, when you think of 21 million, what's the world's population today? About 7.4 billion people, right? Does it mean that some people will never own a Bitcoin? Not really. Not really. Because today, if you look at the rand, for example, how many decimal points does it have? Is it 2, like a shilling? Like you can own 100 shillings and 50 cents, 10 cents. Can you do that with the rand? So it's same as Kenya, right? So it has 2 decimal points. A Bitcoin has 8 decimal points, meaning it's divisible among the world population. You don't have to own an entire Bitcoin. You can own a fraction of a Bitcoin. Now, this is how the supply of Bitcoin was. Every 4 years, the supply of Bitcoin keeps going down. Now, from the year of invention, 2009 to 2012, about 50 Bitcoins were being released, and these Bitcoins are released on the internet for free, for anybody to actually get, right? So 50 Bitcoins were being released every 10 minutes, a total of 7,200. Then from 2012 to 2016, 25 Bitcoins, we are now in the third phase of 2016 to 2020, right? So only 1,800 Bitcoins are being released every single day. Now, this will go on until the year 2140. I don't know how many of us will be here. I can guarantee you would, even if you wanted. Right? We have 123 years more to go before all the Bitcoins are released in circulation. Now, if you look at this chart, can you see that the supply of Bitcoin is going down? Right? The supply of Bitcoin is going down. Yet the demand for Bitcoin has been on an increase. So today, the biggest world economies that are using Bitcoins are countries like Japan, Germany, Denmark, Russia. Right? So these are some of the biggest economies that are currently using Bitcoin. Now, what happens in economics for those of us who went to school, like we were told to do by our parents? What happens what happens when the supply of something goes down and the demand goes up? What happens to the value? No money. It goes up. So that is what pushes the value of Bitcoin to where it is today. Purely demand and supply. The more people start adopting Bitcoin, the more the value goes up because the demand is more. Now, this supply will go on until the year 2140, so we have 123 years. Now, saying Bitcoin is the most valuable currency, how do you accumulate Bitcoins? How do you get these Bitcoins? Because there are different ways you can get Bitcoin. We have 4 ways you can accumulate Bitcoin. Number 1, you can actually buy a Bitcoin. In South Africa, where do you buy Bitcoins? Luno? So you can buy Bitcoins from Luno, and own a Bitcoin. Like I said, when I got started, it was only $500. So if I bought just 20 Bitcoins, you can imagine what value it would be today, right? So you can buy Bitcoin, hold on to it. When the value appreciates, you sell. The same way we do with shares, with stock, with land, right? Number 2 is you can accept it as a mode of payment. Today we have more than 1 million businesses in the world that actually accept Bitcoin as payment. Where you can go take your coffee at Starbucks, pay in dollars or pay in Bitcoins. Right? You can fly with Virgin Atlantic Airline and pay in Bitcoins. You can go to www.expedia.com, book for a flight and a hotel anywhere in the world and pay in Bitcoins. Right? So Microsoft, Walmart, these are some of the global companies that are accepting Bitcoin. I don't know in South Africa, do you have any that is a Pick and Pay? And so Pick and Pay is now accepting Bitcoin. Yeah. And Korea Gaya. Wow. Okay. Korea Gaya. That one. Right? Now, the third way you can get Bitcoins is by trading. Right? Today, if you have USD and you want to convert it to Rand, where do you go? In South Africa. Where do you go? A Forex? Do you have Forex? Forex bureaus? Or the bank? Forex bureaus, right? Now, trading of Bitcoin is similar. These are bit exchanges that buy and sell Bitcoin. So they buy low and sell high. So that's another way you can accumulate some Bitcoin. So in Kenya, for example, we use BitPesa, which is one of the biggest bit exchange. We have Betflix, which is pretty big in Malaysia, in Singapore, in India. So that one is in Kenya as well. In South Africa, you have Luno. We have Coinbase, which belongs to Richard Branson. And then we have BitOasis, which is big in Dubai, in the UAE. So these are some of the exchanges that buy and sell Bitcoin. So you can go into the business of buying and selling Bitcoins, right? Now, the last way you can get Bitcoin is through the process called Bitcoin mining. Now, I'm sure in South Africa, mining is a pretty known word, right? What is mining? When I say mining, what comes to your mind? I'm sorry for sitting here, so I have to pick on you. What comes to your mind when I say mining? Gold, right? Gold. So Bitcoin is like gold because it's very valuable. So mining is just purely the process of getting Bitcoins from source, right? These Bitcoins are released online. So that process of getting them from source is what is called mining. Now, for you to mine, you need a particular kind of machine. Now, let me explain it in layman's language. Do we all have WhatsApp? Yes. Do you have Telegram? Yes. Right? Now, for you to get WhatsApp on your phone, you have to download the WhatsApp software on your phone as the hardware, right? So, for you to mine Bitcoin, you need that machine that you saw, the one called the Antminer S9, which is right over here, right? So this is the machine they use to mine Bitcoin. Now, right now, I'll tell you, it doesn't make sense to try and mine Bitcoin as an individual, because this machine uses about $4 of electricity every single day. Then it needs to be internet connected. Then you need to be a computer programmer to understand how this thing works, right? And then apart from that, you're competing with the wealthy people who are actually mining Bitcoin, the Bill Gates, the Richard Branson, who have a lot of these machines. So I'll very quickly share my story and how I got involved in this. And like, Raymond said, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I worked for corporate Kenya, worked for Airtel for 7 years. And then I realized, if you don't build your own dream, someone else will hire you to build their dream. So I got tired of building someone else's dream. I woke up one day and just quit my job. It was a one-paying job. Airtel is one of the best payers in Kenya. I quit my job and said I am going into normal traditional businesses. In Kenya we call them Jua Kali sector. Jua Kali means hot sun. Jua is sun and Kali is hot. So you go into the hot sun because you're out there grinding and grinding. So I went to the Jua Kali sector. I started a couple of businesses. I used to bottle water, those drinking bottled water. I've done many other businesses. And then someone told me that if you're passionate about something, do that business because your passion will keep you going. So my passion is animals. I love animals, specifically dogs. And where I live, you can breed dogs and sell them at a very good price. I don't know if you have that kind of business in South Africa. No. Do people sell dogs? No? No? German Shepherds, the Bobos, those big, humongous security dogs, right? Now, the problem I got with that business is that the dogs were taking too long to get the puppies. So I knew I would not make my millions very fast because I have to depend on the dogs. Now, I changed my mind and said, let me do business with another animal. I started rabbit breeding. I see in the menus you have rabbit curry. I was in an Indian restaurant and there were those rabbit curry. So I guess you eat rabbits a lot in South Africa, right? No? 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 They are pets. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, I went into the business of rabbit, and I'm the kind of person, if I do something, I go all the way. I don't do things halfway. I go all the way. I had about 2,000 rabbits. Now the problem was they were giving birth a bit too fast. Now that became another problem. So I decided, these things, I'm not employed, I can't take a loan from a bank, and these things are asking for food, so I had to make a decision. I either make them my food, or I continue feeding them. Which one do you think makes more sense? I made them my food, and I ate all my rabbits. So every weekend, there was a party at my home to eat all the rabbits. And people used to think I love people. I don't love people. But it's just that I needed to finish the stock. So I started getting people to come home and eat all the rabbits. So I ate all the rabbits, finished my stock, and then my mentor in this business looked for me for 2 months to tell me about Bitcoin. And I refused to meet him because, I've known him for about 5 years. We're very good friends. He's family now. And I didn't want to meet him because we were doing a business that is in the network marketing platform. We had done that. I worked hard, we are told in network marketing, work hard, the money will flow. So I worked hard, the money flew for a while, and then it stopped. So I didn't want to go back into network marketing kind of business. So I knew if he was calling me, it is one of those businesses, and I didn't want to go back there. So I kept telling him, we'll meet next week. It turned out to be 2 months. Eventually he wrote me down, I went, sat, he explained Bitcoin, I didn't get anything. And it's not because I'm a blonde. It's just that I've never heard of Bitcoin. So for those who are here for the first time, and you didn't get anything about Bitcoin, don't worry. You're in the right company. I didn't get anything. I tell people I invested in this business for FOMO, fear of missing out. I didn't know what it was. But it sounded like a good idea. I said, let me put my money. He said, I asked him, how much do I need? He said, I need about $700 in Kenya. We need about $700. So I didn't have the $700 because I just eaten my capital. So I didn't have rabbits to sell. So I didn't have the money. So what I did, and if you do the same thing, then you have to work. I went and borrowed money from a money lender. Shylock, I don't know if you have the same in South Africa. Those guys who put a lot of interest, and they can auction your lungs, your liver, and everything you own. Okay? So I went and borrowed money from a Shylock, and I invested in this. I said, I don't understand much, but I trust him. And, because he dissected it, he's an engineer, so he dissected Bitcoin in a technical way. I didn't get anything. But I understood that this is the future. When he showed me all this TV and all these things, that I'm only a user and I can become an investor in the next biggest disruption, for me, I got sold out. And I said, I'm investing in this even if I don't understand. Right? So I'm a gut feeling kind of person. So I invested, I went and borrowed money and put it back. And when I got started in this business, it wasn't really to build the business. I just wanted to pay the Shylock the money that I owe. So he told me, if I tell a few of my friends and they invest, I'll make some extra commission. I said, okay, why not? I have a whole contact list in my phone book. How many of us have at least 200 people in our phone books? All of us, right? We are always on the phone talking to someone. Right? I said, why don't you tell people about this business, and if they invest, you make something? Because we do that all the time. Like, if someone like your top, and you refer me to the shop you bought it, will you be paid a commission? No. But don't we do that all the time? Especially the ladies? Right? We do that all the time. But we never get paid. So why wouldn't you tell your friend about a business that you get paid for? So I said, okay, I can open my mouth. And I started telling my friends. And many times, any business you go through, you will start with your family. Because you want to help your family. Now guess what? My family looked at me. They looked at me squarely in my eye and said, you've done too many things. From dogs, to rabbits, to bottling water, to running a bar. They said, this one, we are not together. Do it on your own. And then if you stay long, because many of my businesses I do for 1 year and I go to do something else. Because I just go in a big way so that if the business doesn't work very quickly, I move to the next thing. So he said, you've done too many things, we have to sit and watch you. Let's see how long you lasted this Bitcoin thing. We're calling it a Bitcoin thing. So, fast forward, 15 months later, my entire family is mining Bitcoin. You know, what I'm most proud of, you know, I think for me the greatest part was my mom trying to explain Bitcoin, because she keeps calling it beetroot. Bitcoin beetroot. So I tell like, you know, just have a machine and be sending you money. Don't worry where it comes from. Now what I'm most proud of is my 9-year-old daughter who I came with. And my 9-year-old daughter is mining Bitcoins at 9 years of age. Right? So last month, my daughter made about $4,000 in her account. That's where I get her school fees. What are you doing for your children? What are you doing for your children? Because this opportunity, how many of us are parents in this room? We have children. How many of us are not sure? Especially the men. The women know. So, for those who are not sure, right? Yeah? So, for those who are sure that you are parents, you have children, please, I urge you, don't do this for you. Do it for your children. Because your children, you need to leave something for your children, right? If you are brought up the same way I was brought up by our parents, and they had the best interest at heart, they told us, go to school, get a good education, and get what? A good job. Are there any good jobs? No. I worked for a company that is one of the biggest and the best payers in Kenya. We were bought 4 times in the 7 years I worked for this company. I mean, we were owned by the French, we were owned by the Dutch, we were owned by the Arabians, and when the Indians checked in, I had to check out. I was start to leave, right? Now, I saw people who depended on a job. 10 years down the line, you're told, we are done. Can you sue them? No, it's not your company, it's not your father's company. They will sue you and you're retrenched. There goes a job. And many times you were so busy working for someone else, building someone else's dream. Why do you get to build yours? Now, for me, I say this is how I'm going to build my business. For us who are here, let me ask you a very quick question. How many of us remember our great-grandparents? 2 generations, 3 generations. Do you remember them? You know how many wives they had, how many children? Huh? Now, why do you think we don't remember our great-grandparents? Apart from the fact that they died. They died. Yeah? Exactly. They did not leave us anything. They didn't leave us anything. So if your grandfather left you this property, this land here in Randburg, don't you think you'd have a picture of him up there? Don't you think the great-grandchildren of Bill Gates will remember their grandfather? Absolutely. Henry Ford, Colonel Sanders, KFC. Now, today we are smiling about it and we laugh about it. But think about it, you will die. That's a guarantee I give you. Because many people tell me, give me a guarantee this business will work. I tell you, I don't have a guarantee, but I guarantee you will die. What will you have left for your children? For your children's children's children. The good book, the Bible says, a wise man, a wise woman leaves an inheritance for his children's children's children. 4 generations. What are you going to leave for your children? Right? Because a job is not it. A job is not it. That is not anything. Many of us just die, and what we leave is just debts. Even to bury you, we need to raise finances to bury you. And we keep seeing opportunities and we keep walking away. Now, many of you have seen this opportunity about Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is not waiting for you to research and do your due diligence. The value keeps going up every time. Now, you've sat here, you've listened about this. What do most people do? They go and ask their broke friends whether Bitcoin is a good idea. They are broke. What are they going to advise you? Nothing. Nothing. And of course, they're telling you, those are scams, those are, you know, those things they keep saying, it's a purple little bus. And next week they're borrowing you money. And those are the guys you are listening to. Now you have to decide who you listen to. Because at the end of the day, who pays the bills? You. If you have bills to pay, do your friends come and rally around you, let's pay the bills? No. They say if you have 9 broke friends, you're probably number 10. So, show me who you hang out with, and I will tell you who you are. That's why all of that people don't hang out with us. They don't want to hear your problems, they don't care. Right? Now, who do you listen to? And I keep telling people, if you hang out around people, you just bought your first car, you know, a Vitz, a Duet, one of these cars, and everybody is celebrating you, and they're throwing a party celebrating because you bought your first car, change your group. Because that group is not going to help you to buy your next car. And dreams are free. Let me share with you something. They say many of us die at 25 and wait to be buried at 65. You know what that means? Is that before you were 25, you had big dreams. You had big dreams that I will live in the best suburb in South Africa, I will drive the best car. And then the bills came in, or you got a job, the babies came in, and now, you know, you're like, if I can move from point A to B, I'm good. I'm good. So we just exist. We wait to be buried at 65. Our dreams died with us at 25. Now this opportunity, you can dream again with this opportunity. They say being poor is mental. It's not having opportunity. When I look at the most rich people, they were not born in rich families. The Bill Gates, they just saw opportunities. The same way you're seated here today, seeing the opportunity. When Bill Gates started, you know, Bill Gates is one of the richest men. You know, when you have money, people know you. When you don't have money, nobody knows you, nobody cares. Okay? Carry your problems. Now, Bill Gates today is one of the richest guys. When Bill Gates started Microsoft, he called 10 of his friends and shared the idea of Microsoft. Out of the 10, 8 walked away. The same way this room is packed, many will walk away and do nothing about this opportunity. Only 2 invested in Microsoft. Today, they're the 20th and 21st most richest men on earth. How many people saw the opportunity? 10. Only 2 decided to do something about it. How many of us have Apple phones? Apple phones. Like we said, do you have some shares in Apple? No. None. Now, Apple was started with 3 gentlemen. There was Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, and Gerald Ronald Wayne, who got 10% shareholding in Apple. The 2 Steves got 45%. And then shortly thereafter, this Steve came and said, the Gerald Ronald Wayne, he said, give me back my money. Because I don't see where this company is going. My people perish for lack of vision. Right? Now he said, I don't see where this company is going. They tried to talk to him, he said, no, give me back my money. About $3,000 today's rate. Now, knowing what you know about Apple, what do you think 10% shareholding in Apple is worth today? About 70 billion. Not Zim dollars, not rand, 70 billion US dollars. The guy was interviewed on CNN and he was asked, why did you pass over the opportunity in Apple? He said he's writing a book. Do you think his children care to read that book? No. They don't care. Opportunities come once in a lifetime. What do you do with this opportunity? Bitcoin is an opportunity. What are you going to do about it? In conclusion, I always say, being broke is hard. Being broke is hard. When you can't pay bills, it's hard. Being rich is equally hard. You choose your hard. Because both are hard. You decide. For me, I know for sure I'll never be broke. Right? Because that's not my portion. Because whatever you declare, the universe wants to bring it around. Right? Now you've all seen an opportunity.